Hi, and welcome to another episode of NCBA's Coffee Break. I'm your host, Nathan Willner, and today, as part of our Getting to Know Your NCBA Leaders series, we have a special guest, Curt Robertson. Curt's a prominent leader within NCBA and a seasoned attorney in the creditors' rights world. Welcome, Curt.
Hi, thanks, Nathan. Great to be here. Wonderful to be part of this program.
Yes, thanks for being here. Let's dive right in, Curt. Why is serving as an NCBA leader such an important part of your professional life, and how does it affect your law practice?
Yeah, I'd like to think that at this point in my career, that by serving on the board of the NCB, that I'm giving back to the legal field that has given me a very fulfilling career to this point. Whether that's assisting with vendors that support our members' practices, understand our ever-evolving needs, or interacting and working with the federal and state lawmakers, to understand the delicate balance that we play in the credit-based economy. The truth is that I'm still kind of learning and will hopefully never stop doing so. But I'm grateful to have gotten to know and work with many colleagues through the NCBA, share best practices and experiences with each other that hopefully benefit all of our practices.
I mean, that's fantastic. What initially drew you to this area of practice to the creditors' rights law in general?
Well, I think I stumbled upon creditors' rights initially, not unlike many of my colleagues. I had just started my second year of law school and was looking for a clerking opportunity. I interviewed with several firms, varied sizes and practices, and I ended up accepting a job with a creditors' rights firm and enjoyed the varying aspects of the practice. It was a job that was, varied that so that it kept you busy from the minute you got there to the minute you left. So when I passed the bar, I came back to the practice area and that I knew and enjoyed. And flash forward to today, and I've been involved in creditors' rights now for 21 years.
So I know it flies by, right? When you say 21 years, I'm sure it sounds like a long time, but sometimes when I hear like 1990 doesn't seem that long ago to me, but
Right.
I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about your law practice a little bit. How many attorneys do you have in your practice? Do you operate in multiple states? And how long have you been involved in NCBA in general?
So the law office of Weber Olcese was founded in 1996 by our members Jeff Weber and Michael Olcese, who coincidentally met at the same creditors' rights law firm that I clerked for. So we have offices in Troy, Michigan, right outside of Detroit, and in Louisville, Kentucky. So we currently employ 12 attorneys licensed in 11 different states. Our primary states of practice are Georgia, Indiana, Kentucky, Michigan, and Tennessee. And the firm has been a proud member of NCBA since 2000.
Wow, so that's impressive. On a personal note, we're asking our leaders, what's the best advice you ever received?
I was thinking about that. So, I think the best advice that I ever received is from my dad, who I continue to seek advice from today. But I remember him telling me years ago that when he was in the prime of his career in the banking industry and talking about jobs and opportunities, that he said, no one is irreplaceable. And that's something that has always stuck with me. I think it's provided me with a guiding sensibility when looking at both challenges, both prospectively and introspectively. Realize that there's no one individual more important than your overall mission and goals. And it also serves as a good ego check for yourself, right? To know that you too can be replaced, and it motivates you to work hard every day and to prove your value. Life went on before you, and life will go on after you. So it's important to keep that in perspective.
That's great advice indeed. Yeah, and here's something I'm sure that your parents and my parents didn't have to deal with, but again, we're asking our leadership about how artificial intelligence, AI, is impacting your practice and how it's changed the way your firm operates.
Yeah, AI will is obviously going to play a larger and larger part of all of our lives in the future. It touches on so many aspects that we probably don't even realize all the aspects that it's touching on our day-to-day lives. But right now, our firm is exploring all of the different opportunities that AI can offer to our, niche of the legal industry. As of course, of our law firm's chief risk manager, I try and keep an open mind with AI, but right now I'll be truthful. I'm a little skeptical about the overall impact that it can have for creditors' rights right now. But our industry is just so heavily regulated. faces ever evolving, changes due to court opinions that vary from jurisdiction to jurisdiction, court rule changes, everything that comes along with the hyper scrutiny that our industry gets. So, while I remain hopeful that AI can offer industry cost savings, along with that pairs, we need to have a strong compliance component and know that AI offers that. So, I am very hopeful for AI, and I look forward to all the vendors who can give us the great opportunities that way.
Yeah, no, that absolutely. I just remember when I was in law school and they were talking about, well, you'll be able to do research on a computer. And it was like it was a an optional course. And some people were like, computer, they're never going to do away with law libraries and how to shepherdize a case. That's just a waste of time. So boy, was that person wrong, right?
Right.
So the question is, what advice would you give a third year law student today?
Well, it's funny because maybe the advice would be give them before they consider law school. There's the first piece of advice is like, whoa, are you sure you want to do this? Because obviously the career path that we've chosen here is not one that Hollywood makes it out to be. It's not Law and Order, and everything's not getting done in an hour. So I think though that as a third year that they've gone through that those first 2 years and they can see the light at the end of tunnel at the end of the tunnel. I'd want them to know the breadth of the opportunities that await them outside of law school and the realities that might come with each of those opportunities, right? So if you're like someone who is gung-ho and doesn't have an emphasis on maybe a personal life so much, maybe a larger firm with billable hour requirements, that's the life for you. And there are some people who are like that. But if you're looking for more balanced life, in and out of the office, and you want to get a lot of the litigation experience, maybe creditors' rights is something that you should explore. I think that all too often our area of law gets a bad rap in the media and from regulators. But the reality is that I think this creditors' rights play such an intricate part in the overall credit-based economy that any new attorney out there or any third year, as it were, who's looking to join us should look at that creditors' rights and join our proud craft.
Uh, really wise words, Curt. And thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your insights. It's an amazing area of law that intersects with so many different facets and legal concepts that definitely, if you're intellectually interested in looking at things that are unique, this practice of law, this area of the law is so unique. So great insight. And I also just want to thank our listeners for tuning into NCBA's Coffee Break, getting to know your NCBA Leader Series, where we're highlighting our executive committee and board of directors members over the next few months in our biweekly newsletter. So until next time, Curt, hopefully you'll come back for another episode in the future. But thank you for joining us, and until next time, stay informed and stay engaged.
Thank you, Nathan. It's my pleasure.
Be well.